Hi, and welcome back to I'm a Happy Enchilada. And I hope you're having a great day. And if this is your first time with us, we're so glad you're here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode of Enchilada. I'm Don Culver, and I'll be your host. And today we're going to talk about taking risks in your life. It's a worthy topic and one we all must think about and decide what is appropriate for ourselves, whether in overall life, in love relationships, or financially. Now, I discovered a lot of great info on risk, so we'll run a little longer than usual today. So let's get started. What do you say? Now, when we're first starting out on our own, all we have is what we may have learned at home growing up. Well, maybe we were urged to always avoid as much risk as possible and just blend in with the herd for safety and being content with what life hands us. Or maybe we were urged to go for our dreams and passions and embrace risk and not be fearful of it. You may want to take a minute and reflect on how you perceived risk in your family and see how that has affected how you view it today. For myself, I grew up in a risk-adverse family that took the safe route nearly always. My dad drilled in my head that it was best to be a small toad in a big pond. I had a totally different mindset, which caused great friction and angst in our relationship. So let's dive into taking risks, shall we? Okay, here we go. Now, here's a good definition of what risk entails. Taking a risk to achieve a goal requires courage to face the fear of uncertainty, no matter the outcome. Either way, we grow through the process and become more resilient and confident. Better yet, building those skills that helps us in taking more risks and improves the chances of achieving future goals. I like that a lot. Now, what is taking risk in life? Well, by taking risks, you give yourself permission to try things out, to learn to fail, to grow, and to explore. You get to test your limits and go beyond what you believed was possible. You can go after the things in life you really want. This is some great stuff, especially if you embrace any amount of risk already in your life. Now, personally, I find it exhilarating, yeah. Now, if you're a risk-adverse person, here's something you'll want to hear and consider. Now, what are the risks of not taking risks? Not taking risks in life for fear of discomfort and change often produces a life of isolation and underdeveloped potential. In fact, it is one of the greatest challenges for people who either feel stuck or are too comfortable in their predictable but underwhelming life to make a change. And here's a short thought on both the positive and negative sides of risk to consider. Now, sometimes it's good to take a risk when it pushes you outside of your comfort zone and helps you achieve a healthy goal. At other times, taking risks can have serious negative consequences on our health, relationships, and education. Well, how about some advantages to taking risks? It reduces the hold fear has over us, opens up new possibilities, develops self-confidence and resilience, and teaches a great lesson. It leads to rewards also, more experiences and more knowledge. Well, that's certainly food for thought, isn't it? Now, anybody who wants to increase their appetite for taking risk, huh? Okay. Well, that's great. Let me give you some more ways you can learn to take more risk with less angst. And here we go. First, develop a system for assessing risk. Move past the fear of failure. That's big. Find ways to take on incremental risk. Seek out advice from calculated risk takers. And here's a few more really good ideas. Stop trying to be a people pleaser. Be willing to rock the boat. Get vulnerable and share your story and shatter what you think is possible. And say yes to your intuition, I tried to say. That's a good look at the personal side of taking risks, don't you think? Now, let's take a look at the financial side. It can be pretty scary at first because of the risk of financial loss. Here's some good general advice, especially if you're just starting out. The stock market and real estate are your best bets for building wealth. The very best advice is to get a trusted financial advisor to manage your investment account. They will be able to show you all the options available to reach your financial goals and keep your portfolio growing. In addition, you can open a small account online so you can do some investing on your own if you wish. Now, if you're like me and have a love or fascination with real estate, it can be very profitable, especially if you're willing to look for a rundown bargain that needs some fixing up and you're willing to go put in some sweat equity. You can rent it out or flip it when you're done and make a nice profit. Now, today the stock market and real estate are for sure your best bets for building wealth. And consistently investing in your financial future will help ensure you enjoy a happy, peaceful retirement. Last is taking risk in relationships. Oh, that's the scariest one for me, I must confess. Now, let's see what we've got here. Here's some signs. A man's worth your time. Listen, girls, he's single. He's kind and respectful. He takes personal responsibility for himself and his circumstances. He handles his finances responsibly. He has good manners. He is faithful. He is truthful. He is easygoing. Whoa, he's a keeper. Hey, I agree with that. And here's some signs. A woman is worth your time. You want to be a better person because of her. She doesn't beat around the bush. She knows that she isn't all that's good in your life. She doesn't need to be with you all of the time. Ooh, that's good. There's no doubt you want her to meet your parents. She's independent. Whoa, that's great stuff. Life's full of risk in all areas, and we get to choose whether we participate or not. And one last thing that needs to be said. You may fear that if you fail, this means you're a failure. But in fact, by taking risks, you will learn to overcome your fears. You will likely find that you care less about what people think and about what could go wrong, which is a powerful shift in thinking. Think about that. Well, that's all I've got. So until next time, God bless and be a happy enchilada. Bye.